Morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's clear some of this. Super fast. Not following. Alright. Goodbye. Working your way to shiny Blitzel, that's awesome. User info, 12 years, watch time, 64 hours, not following. Alright. User info, 8 hours, not following. Cool. And not following. Yes. Who's this? 50 hours watch time, not following. Okay. Bunch of randos in my view. Gotta snipe them, gotta take them out. Heyo. Uh-oh. We're finally here. We really made it, y'all. The fabled art stream of 2023. We had 2 days left. But we did it. I'm excited. I've just been kind of mucking around doing a few things with settings, and I think everything works. Hang on. Oh yeah. Everything's working. Sometimes with this app, it's like you won't be able to see rotation, like when I turn the canvas around, but I got it working. I found a cool background image, which I'll show you in a second. Just gotta clean my eyeballs off a little bit. But I tweaked some settings, I moved some stuff around, pushed some pixels. You know how it is. Got everything organized, situated. And there's the Shogun. Like a silly Pokemon idea. Calling it friend kindling. Yes, very good. Yeah, so I just kind of pushed everything down here into the corner, the bottom left. And I like this a lot. I think this is clean. I think, you know, it has everything I've wanted to have on my overlay for a long time. And it's clear and legible, and you can see me, and we can just hang out and do this. I'm trying to figure out, because I have to keep my iPad charged, I need a better way to like have everything right in front of me. So I have it over here, but I'm worried if I'm talking out this way, the mic's not going to be able to pick it up. So we'll try it for a little bit. This is most definitely a first for me. I have not streamed artwork on this channel in a long time. I've been talking about doing it forever. So I have AirPlay, which, wow, so hard to set up AirPlay. I don't know why it took me so long. I feel like I tried like 7 different methods to do this, to literally like get my stuff on the screen this way, and now you can actually see everything that I'm doing, which is awesome. So all I did, because I was like, okay, if I frame this up right and I have the screen right in the middle, it's not gonna be, you know, the same size as like the stream overlay, so like the view. So I was like, I need something like a background. I was like, I got it. I know what to do. First, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. But I was like, I know what to do. I know what to put up there. So I literally took a screenshot from Baldur's Gate 3. And I just love that my paladin is just like creeping. He's just like crouched down. He's like looking around, hanging out. But I really loved this shot. This is like one of the last places in Act 1 that you get to, and I had like jumped way off the beaten path to get here to get this shot. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it's nice. It fills out the rest of the you know, the empty space a little bit, and they're like nice colors too. So I feel like that's a good choice. And it's Baldur's Gate. Like, I love that. I love that you can kind of just have something on the sides, and maybe we can fill them up later with different stuff. But I centered everything. I got the overlay all cleaned up. I was testing a few different features and just trying to get, you know, like a solid layout in, so you can like kind of showcase everything. But this is it. I mean, this is what I have been working on, trying to accomplish for many, many moons. And I honestly just cannot believe that we're finally here. So now I think I'll probably just go ahead and get started. There's gonna be a way too where like I'm gonna want to turn it vertically. Yeah, that's what I figured. But for now, I'll keep it in landscape mode, and then we'll go from there. Check my messages. All right. Well, I suppose we should just get started then. So, a lot of my stuff that I do is make sure I get all these levels right. Center myself. A lot of these like mandala pieces that I do are very very stream of conscious. So like I've done other ones, you know, in the past where I'll get an idea started and then I just kind of like zoom in and build from that. I'll see now it's not doing it. Of course, now it's not going to let me do it. Yeah, so now it's like locked to, I wonder if I reset the view. There we go. Nice. Okay, so that's all I have to do. We're figuring it out as we go. So yeah, like I'll usually rough out some shapes, get through like most of like the building blocks of it, and then when I feel like I see something that I like, I expand. I just kind of keep going back over and finding ways to make it visually more interesting. I do a lot of like zooming in and out too. So like I'll zoom out and be like, does that look good? Yeah. Like we'll keep pushing. Fill out a lot of these like lighter areas in the middle because we want contrast. And a little bit more detail closer to the center. Saru! What up, bro? What up, dude? How was your birthday? How was your birthday? Thank you for the sub, brother. I appreciate that. You know, I probably should have just given you a sub yesterday, now that I'm thinking about it. Because you're one of the few people who do hang out in here a lot, but I do appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Glad you made it. What's up? Hey, we're doing art. We're finally doing art. How about it? Real. It's real. We're doing artwork on the Show Gundy stream. Yeah, so I just like to kind of move through all these random little lines and things that I put down, try and add a little bit more shape, a little bit more volume to some of the stuff. And then I zoom out, I look at it and be like, okay, yeah, that's kind of starting to come together. And then I'll zoom in and then I'll just kind of keep working through that until we find something that we like. But there's really no plan with these. A lot of this is just like when I first, you know, go in, I will do just a whole bunch of random shit on the outside until I find something that looks good, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll stick with that for now, and then I'll come back in, I'll erase a whole bunch of stuff. We'll come back, bring this eraser out a little bit, and just rinse and repeat. That's really it. But it's nice because I think a lot of this has to do with like meditation, right? Like the practice of doing mandalas and like Zentangles and stuff. It's meant to kind of, you know, go in with no plan. You know, I have designs and stuff that I think would look good for these, but I just enjoy the process of figuring out as I go a lot more. And then I feel like it opens up more creativity as you go. to where like, oh, you know what? Like maybe if I try this instead of whatever I was doing before. Or, if you're doing like a portrait or like, like a still environment, like a study piece and you have reference in front of you, then it's like I get very fixated on like tiny details and I would rather just, kind of go nuts and do it this way. It's more fun for me. It was good. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was probably just going to stream for a little bit and then we can go grab lunch whenever, maybe closer to like 12:30. A little bit in the afternoons, the afternoonage. Does that work for you? Hope you're doing well. Man, we're so close. We're almost to the end of another year. Can you believe 2019 was just last year? Sounds good, man. Awesome. I appreciate you. Yeah, I've been looking forward to going too. It's been a minute since we got the food. Just do some of these weird goobly lines. Come up and we'll do like a steeple, like a point. Ooh, yeah, that's coming along. I like that. It's getting funky. So let's do like 3 more lines and 3 more lines. Yeah, so we kind of have this like woven texture coming in. See, this is what I'm talking about. You just kind of go and you figure it out along the way. There's really no pressure. And that's my favorite kind of artwork where there's absolutely no pressure. I went to play Dragon Age Inquisition yesterday. Never got around to it. I realized that game is 10 years old. Yeah, it's been out for a bit, huh? Macho played it a good bit, but I never got into it myself. Was that fun? Was it good? Also, who's the studio that does... It's not Larian that did Dragon Age, no? That's Divinity. I'm thinking of Divinity. What else? Yeah, we can come back in here. Push this out a little bit. So we have like a lot of these like really stretchy, kind of random shapes. We can kind of just fill that out and then do like a larger border around here. So I think that looks good. I think having like sharp sections. Oh no, I say that. No, I don't like it. Yeah, something like that. And then like coming out into here, we can do more like woven patterns, kind of like a dragon scale, type thing. Oops. More like that. Oops. Yeah. Something like that. Something like this. And then let's just nuke this top half here. Because what I want to do now is I want to have like a sort of like a lip underneath it. I'm trying to go for like layering, with like different contour lines, but have sort of a like a layered effect around each of the sections. That would look pretty good. Hang on, let me just try. Try one of these. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. It's also probably better for me to just use the outer ring as like a template, like to measure, so I can bring it in so you guys can actually see most of the detail. Because like the size of this thing, when you zoom all the way out, you can really get lost in details, but sticking to sort of like a middle piece, that looks good. BioWare, I think. That's right. Yeah, I never played it, so I just got it for like $5 forever ago and never played it. See, that's the best. I went and I got the Arkham trilogy B and I were talking about this. Bat B, she's been playing a lot, and I picked it up on Steam for super cheap because I love those games. But I can't wait to like sit down and be like, all right, yeah, I got time. Let's play the Arkham trilogy. Love those games, and getting it for like super cheap, like for a deal, is great. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been playing Baldur's. I was just saying before you got here, my background here, if you if you see on the edges to fill out the blank space, is just a screenshot I took from Baldur's Gate 3, which is pretty funny. I had that one for a while when I had my first playthrough. Now I'm on like freaking attempt number 9 of like hardcore honor mode. Shit's crazy, dude. Shit's crazy. Let's see. Let's do a few more outer pieces here. We probably want to like vary the line width a little bit. Yeah. Just so we know. Like that. So we want to kind of do like a fold here in the middle. I want like a fan of knives, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of bring it out a little bit with, okay, wait a second, like this, yeah, that's what I'm after. And just kind of pull them in here. Like that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Let's clean this up a little bit here. I like the shapes that we've got, but I want to make it a bit more round and clean. Okay. Have sort of like... yeah, I think that works. Let's do a little bit more with these in here. So I kind of like that they are more angular, so I think I'm going to play onto that, build more like angular shapes. We can bring back some other pieces. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. You have like this kind of like fractal pattern coming through. And again, it makes the centerpiece more interesting, I feel like. Yeah, it's funky. I like that. It's so easy to think, oh yeah, 3 games for $10. I'll definitely play those, and then never get around to it. I got Mario Wonder yesterday just for funsies. Yeah, Doncho and I were hanging out the other night. He showed me golf, the new Mario Golf. Loved it. I'm probably gonna stream that at some point next year. We had a blast playing golf, and then we played a little bit of Mario Wonder. It's very cool. It's very different. I like a fresh take on the traditional 2D Mario platformer. I think that was much needed for the franchise, and we played like 6 or 7 levels 2 nights ago. It was super fun. But man, I'm all about that golf, dude. I'm not somebody who enjoys it in real life, but I enjoy some Mario Golf. That was a hell of a lot of fun. I'd be down to start playing that. Like, we get like hangouts and stuff. And then I think he was saying you can play online too, which is awesome. Oh, here we go. Put those back in. Get more like a connected shape going on. Yeah, so you have these like folds that look really nice. And I think doing something like that to make it feel as though it is like folding into itself. And then we can do like a stacking point star where like all of the tips of the fans like come together. Like that? How does that look? Ooh, yeah. So now it like kind of fans out into the other shapes, and then these as well. Kind of be like, we want more of like a arc in here. Yeah. Something like that. So now, what if we put more like texture in the blades themselves? Have kind of like a divot. Sort of like that. That's not bad. Because then what we want is to give the illusion of like depth in this like fanning section. Yes, dude. Okay, that's really cool. So just that one little like series of lines really helped create like a sense of like 3D. That's what I like. I like when it starts coming together and you really start getting like a visually it starts to look more and more like a 3D image. There's a little bit more like volume to the shape. I'll have to check that one out. That's cool looking. Yeah. Mario Golf, super fun. I took it out to the living room to set it up. We didn't get a chance to play last night, but I came home. I told the missus, I was like, I'm gonna ask you, like, I really want to know if I get this game, will you play it with me? She's like, yeah, of course. She likes Mario Party and like those kind of games. So I know like we're not big golf heads, but they made it super fun. I mean, golf is golf. Like there's 100 different kinds of like mini golf games and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I'm down to play after lunch too. Just throwing that out there. The hooks. The hooks me bucko. Speaking of the hooks, man, I've been really enjoying the new Pokemon DLC. I streamed for a little bit yesterday, and then we got one of our Dream Turtle team. So I'm doing an all shiny turtle team for Violet, and we picked up a shiny Torkoal in like 5 minutes. I found a random outbreak in the Paldea region, and I was like, "All right, I'll build a Pokemon out, you know, do the outbreak, and then we got our first shiny turtle. So we have 1 of 6 complete for our dream team. I'm super excited to see how that goes. Golf gets better the smaller it is. Yes, I agree. Nothing like going out the butt crack of dawn and putting on stuffy clothes and golfing for 6 hours on a massive 10-acre, you know, whatever field. I like playing golf in the comfort of my home and my PJs, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of golfer that I am. I'm sure people are down with it, but the few times that I have gone out to play, it was not, I don't know, it was not for me. So what if we do like another layered, like, yeah, start actually pulling out the mandala shapes here. So we sort of like weave it out, and we do more with like layering the they look like flower petals to me. That's what they remind me of. It's more like flower petals than like one of these guys. Let's do it more centered. And then do like one of these and one of these. All right, that one kind of looks like a booby. Yeah, something like that. Now let's actually do it properly. Do that. A little bit more out. That's better. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. Then we can do a little bit more texture work up here. Same thing we did before, just in the opposite direction. Oops. And just kind of give a bit more depth to, oh man, that's looking really cool. Now I like that a lot. Where like the edges, they like, you know, like they fan out and then like back in to like a center point. I think that looks really cool. Microscopic golf. Yeah, nano golf. Play with you know, like microscopes and like super tiny tools. Where like your putts and your hole-in-ones are like nanometers. I think that'd be fun. Enter the multiverse, the golfyverse. I'm looking at these like other lines we did, and now I'm kind of thinking like, all right, what if we clean this up? Okay, that's not bad. And then we fill this part out, or maybe, yeah, we fill this part in, and then round out a bit more with the eraser. Okay. It's really funny too, like doing the artwork on stream immediately, like I'm having a great time. But I'm not very vocal about my process on my own. You know, I'm very much like throw something on in the background, and I don't talk myself through my art very much like this, but I usually don't have an audience. So I think that's really interesting, like having to like focus on doing the artwork but also kind of like explaining my thought process is really interesting. I've not had to do that very often. Probably not since I was in school. Like, Full Sail, we did a lot with our mentors and our instructors on like, getting feedback and like class critiques and stuff. But I've obviously, being on my own and doing my own stuff for like commissions, you just kind of get into a zone. You just kind of feel out the space of like whatever the project is, and you just kind of build. You kind of iterate and see where it goes. I like this a lot. I like the different shapes that we've got, where it's more like light in the center and then maybe like fanning out into like darker. It kind of has that like hatching texture, from like the pointed tips. So like if we went in right and we did more of that with like um, sort of like this, where it has that like manga style like hatching, and then it pulls a little bit more out this way, kind of like this. Oops. No, what am I trying to do here? I'm thinking of doing it more like from the sides and then like pulling in. So it like there's like a thin center line. Yeah, kind of like that, where it like pulls up and out. Oops. So you kind of have this like the edge of like some like reflective material, where like the edges are just shiny. And the sun like would be like bouncing off the pieces individually here. Something kind of like that. So you have these like sections where like it pulls back and there's no light touching it, and then like as it comes up to a point, only like the top section of it would be getting light. I think that looks really interesting, where you have like the fanning sections of lines going down and out into the center, and then like towards the edges they're just kind of like these more and more amorphous, like they kind of bend and weave outward. So if we did it again, but this time we did like from here, I think this would be better to do sort of like this. Then we could pull down. Oops. We clean that up a little bit. We can go down from this side and in, and this side would be like this. So this would be probably one of the darker sections, and we just keep stacking lines on top of each other like that. Yeah, so now there's like this layered like flower petal texture in the background, which looks really nice. Like having it sort of, overlaid like one on top of the other, and then doing like the sort of line work to make it feel like it's actually stretching and bending out behind it. I think that looks really cool. Ant-Man golf. That'd be fun. I'd love to see Ant-Man golf. That would be super fun, actually. I'm going to tweak this just a bit because I'm kind of in more of like a slouched. I've got like my iPad in my lap. That's the deal. So you can actually see like exactly what I'm doing, which is awesome. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Finish my coffee. That's some good coffee. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think I did like a quick showcase a couple streams ago of just like having the AirPlay up and made some random lines. And then we just kind of build on it. We just go. We just make, little changes here and there. Have like sort of this like wobbly, blobbly texture up and around. But it's very loosey-goosey. It's very free-form. I've always enjoyed this style of art where it's like everything, it's like building it out in sections, right? And then everything kind of has its place. Everything kind of has its spot. It keeps it interesting enough too, to where like when I work on my projects, I hyperfixate, and I get into like one little tiny area and I'm trying, to like maximize the limited amount of pixels that I have. And then once I like zoom back out, I'm like, oh, okay, that was like the size of a grain of rice that I've been getting into, It does look really cute. I actually kind of like that a lot. But this allows you to kind of like zoom out, take a look around, go back in, be like, oh, okay, I see like where I could add more shapes and stuff here, and I can bend and pull, and keeps it interesting where like I'm not totally focused on one specific area. I can just kind of build and iterate as I go. And just put a few more shapes and spots down that I feel like looks interesting or like adds to the depth of sort of mandala piece or Zentangle or what have you. Yeah, so I think filling this out, creating a bigger barrier, yeah, instantly looked a lot better. And then now, like what we were saying before, where these like sort of connecting lines add a sense of depth and shadow. And we can just keep stacking and weaving lines and threads in, because when we zoom out, we can even start doing them from here too. I think methinks having a bit of texture like this. Put some on this side. Yeah, see now how like the centerpiece looks more like recessed? Like it looks like it sits deeper in the center. So your eye naturally is going to follow all of these lines every which direction, but it really punches out the centerpiece and makes it more prominent. And then like it dips and it comes almost like a valley and like a groove, comes back up and out into these like clover shapes around the edges. So yeah, visually I like making pieces like this because it sort of forces your eye to naturally wander around and look and follow different lines. You zoom in and you start seeing more and more details from the center and like these connective pieces. And then like fanning out, you've got more and more of these like wavy, textured bits where like this I think would be more down instead of like bowing up, kind of like bending down, and just keeping the lines consistently like the same width, more or less. It's fine if they aren't all perfect. This is my Bob Ross section. It's fine if they're not all perfect. You just want to create the illusion of like, it's not just a flat shape. It has some bend. It has some texture to it. And it's okay to make mistakes. Happy accidents, as he calls them. But yeah, we just kind of want like a varying bend in the patterns here. And then, of course, this one will just be straight out from the corner and straight out from black. So now it really does have this sense of like waves, you know, like the first one, it's very like low with like a few reflective highlights. And that too, like kind of gives you the illusion of texture, something that absorbs light or reflects it very strongly. And then the second one, it really zooms out. I mean, you can kind of clean this up a little bit here. We could do a bit better with that. Kind of have them like bending out like this. Oops. Like that. Yeah. And then like the third and fourth leaves we'll just kind of keep building upon that. Keep making it more interesting. I think doing it this way too, where we have like a secondary layer on the outside to frame it, helps me kind of put it back into frame so we can actually take a look at the whole thing. This is cool. I like this. I think the other lines in the center we can do a little bit more with. We can clean up and we can keep adding that like layered line work into it. I think there's a few other shapes that I might want to add as we go. They buffed Namona's team in the DLC, and people are saying she's stronger than Cynthia. I'm going to drop her whole team with the Pachirisu. You're the only one I believe that can do it. You've proven time and time again that Pachirisu should 100% take the top seat as a Arceus destroyer. That's hilarious, though. They made Namona's team stronger. I feel like that's needed, especially for your rival, because historically in all the other games, right? Like they come back at the end to like, you know, prove once and for all who's the strongest trainer. I think that's pretty cool. They actually gave her a little bit more of a buff, a strength buff. Yeah, so kind of like how we've done here towards the I guess like that would be like the second layer. I want to build more with the connecting lines. So like I think that looks good on the next piece here. But then if we did like sort of a staggered line art, sort of like bringing this down and around like that would look kind of cool. Ooh, yeah. And then you've kind of got this like spider eye texture. So if we just punched all these out. Ooh, okay. Let's bring the size of the eraser down a little bit. All right, that's still way too big. What if we just did like a circle? Oops. And then same thing. Just do another circle shape. Ooh, yeah, okay. I actually like that a lot. So now you have this like reflective spider eye shape. Yeah, that looks really cool, actually. Okay. So we'll build on that, and then this guy we'll do sort of like this. It goes from like thick to thin, and it meets the ends. Almost like spider silk, like how it connects to each other. Do like a big, oops, like a big to thin. Pull that out. Same thing here. Like that. Oops. Bit more spacing here. And this guy come up. Just like on the ends. How does that look? Ooh, yeah. I like how that looks. It's kind of like almost like curtain, like looking like a curtain, or zoom in again. It's kind of like curtains, like open window, like they kind of like billow and like pull. I like that a lot. So now you have 3 distinct layers of detail between the centerpiece, the clover arcs, and then now this like spider face with like the closing curtains. Like that looks really nice. We could do something here. I mean, it kind of looks good on its own, but something, I don't know, to like push this together. I think maybe we do something completely different then, and we just do like staggered teeth almost. Ooh, yeah. So what if we did like pulling teeth? So we go like around this way. This is going to be really cool, actually. I like this a lot. Yeah. So the inside, it's almost like a Venus flytrap, right? Like the edges are kind of like closing in, and they like do it like that. And then what if we did like a piece like this, go like all the way together, and then we just fill in the blank space. So all you see is the teeth. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's sick. Okay, yeah, I like that. Just a little bit of more depth and texture, like I was saying. So the like little opening here, we can just kind of fill with like minor hatching. Mainly, I just want to be able to see the teeth. Oh, it's so cool, dude. Yeah, that turned out really well. Yeah, so maybe just turn it all black. So then you really like it feels like it folds into the void. But then connecting it like next to it, then we definitely want to clean up like these scale textures. I think that's good. I think like an arachnid, draconic sort of like textures look good next to each other, is what I'm trying to say. You have like spider webs and scales. Kind of like the two textures I think we can play with in this one. So let's try that. Let's try and do more of like proper scale texture. So we can just follow the guide of each individual scale, and we just go up from each point. Kind of like that. Yeah, and then we build out. So like we just keep stacking them up into the rest of this piece. Let's clear this out and then do, oops. Nope. Nope. So this next like secondary clover shape, we'll do like scales. And then yeah, we can clean up the lines around it a little bit. I still really like the fanning blades, like around it. And then the petals I think are a really good touch, like how we did the shading on that. So I think that'll fan out from there. We'll clean up the rest of this too, like later on, but just like to showcase some different stuff. I think that looks really good. She has a level 86 Pokemon, and that's the reason. Oh, it keeps doing this where it like pushes the whole thing over. I can't read. That's the reason people are saying that, but her team has hella weaknesses. She has 3 ground type weaknesses, 3 fairy types. One is a 4 times weakness, 3 flying types, and the resistance coverage against fairies. Dang, so you could really do well with like trying to think of like Tinkaton, and have maybe some other like ground supports. I was trying to figure out too, because her Terra typing, if I remember, she had, was it fighting? No. Or was it ground? Can't remember. Honestly, I beat her so fast in my first playthrough. It was not memorable at all. Togekiss with Earth Power solos her whole team, but Togekiss isn't an SV. Right, so you could do Togetic with Eviolite. I know you love the Eviolites. Who are these people, bro? that have been watching for 11 hours, but they're not following. They're just randoms. 5 years, 4 hours, 56 minutes, not following. I don't know who any of these people are. So I'm just gonna remove them. That's how it's gonna be. It's just weird. Mix It Up shows you like who's, I don't know, I guess like pinged your chat or your channel, but they're not following. Yeah, bots, I bet. It's just bizarre because every time I follow, or like every time I boot up Mix It Up, I just see these like names pop in. Like, who are you guys? Never chatted, never followed the stream, just freaking bots, dude. I mean, I guess I'm thankful. It shows me. Yeah, no idea. Changes your team a little, depending on the starter, though. Her Masquerada team is by far the weakest. Okay, so you would have chosen Quaxley, right? She picks your foil. She picks your, like, what would take you out. Yeah, like as soon as you go live. That's what I mean. Like, it's like kind of unsettling. You know what I'm talking about because you showed me Mix It Up. So like every time I go live, I see these like bot names pop up. I'm like, what? Who is botting me? And like I don't stream very often, so like it's just bizarre to see random fucking names show up. I do like that I can see everybody, granted, but I've just been trying to stay on top of that the last couple streams. Be like, all right, this is weird. Like, I don't know about this one, Chief. Let's see, how are we doing? We're almost at an hour. And it looks like my bit rate leveled out, so that's good. Mostly just wanted to keep testing and keep like making sure my system is good. Yesterday's stream went great, honestly. Like for only 2 hours, I think I did really well with the time and showcasing some other stuff. So I think I'm happy with that. Can show some of the other things too. So like normally I work in layers a lot. Like this was I think the other piece that I just kind of like started with. So you can kind of see where I brick out shapes, and this is good for like process. I brick out these shapes in the middle. I build, I iterate, I, come back around and fill things out. And then I just do like some bigger random shapes on the outside to kind of give it, I don't know, it's kind of like an aura shape, I guess. Just to kind of fill out the blank space around it, because otherwise you're just looking at a whole bunch of, void and kind of just visually boring. So I like filling out the exterior so that at least, there's something to look at. You could even do, like impact lines. Do them like that. Ooh. Ooh. And then that way it allows me to, like, when I zoom in and I focus, has something on the outside to kind of, connect with. And then just kind of give ourselves a barrier, give ourselves a border around here. But yeah, that's kind of been always like my process with these. And, as we go, you can see like it gets more detailed. I get more and more like refined on like what exactly like the original shapes, like what they evolve into. And I like pushing depth. I like really like getting in and finding ways to like, finding ways to make it just have this sense of depth in it. A little bit of depth in it. So yeah, so we can like keep pushing more in like the white space, and then if I feel like it's too cluttered, I'll just go back in and like push a whole other shape out and see like how that looks. The thing is too with like Procreate, it's really intuitive with the gestures, and it makes me really excited for Dream, because I have always struggled with animation, but I feel like now's the best time to do it when everybody has like a basically like a clean slate, or like, I don't know, a lot of the artists that I follow online, I feel like most people have an iPad, they'd use Procreate, and I've followed some animators and I've heard them talk about it, like getting first looks and stuff. It looks really cool. I just struggle a lot with like the fundamentals of movement and making things naturally kind of flow. I've always been more of like a 2D, you know, a still image girly, kind of like with my artwork. Like I like doing illustrations. I like doing like, you know, focused singular pieces. But I would really like to do some animation stuff in the future, especially if Dream comes out and it's like just as intuitive as Procreate is. Procreate has its own animation stuff too, which is awesome. Like, you know, they have animation tools built in, but the fact that they're doing their own, I mean, like a complete revamp essentially. I think that would be really cool to kind of like do a follow along and like learn with me session, trying to figure out how to make like animations and stuff work. Because again, like I have some like experience with the fundamentals and basic animation principles, but I think it'd be really fun to work on that and stream it and showcase more stuff on the iPad, because this is great. I like being able to show you guys like how my stuff works, and being able to like visually put it up in a way that, uh, yeah, just showing off, like showing people how I make my artwork. And I've done a bunch, you know, like of these other pieces. Like Nexus is a really cool one. It's very clean. It's very like, oops, very angular. So you can see, yeah, I just have to refresh. Looks like, um, technically this is the correct view of it, like the upright, because when I add my signature, I guess that's like final. But I did like a lot of just very, you know, simple concepts, stuff that you see in a lot of other mandalas, you know, these sort of like very clear blocked out shapes. And then like, you know, I'll go in and I'll add more with the, hang on, what am I doing here? I'll go in and I'll do more of these like, you know, singular sections. Like, okay, this is just like a triangle, but you know, what do I do to make it more interesting? And like, I could still go back in and touch up some of this other stuff. You can see I was playing a lot with like the scales, like the natural organic scale pattern, pulling it out. This was really fun, you know, sort of like this, again, sort of like it's like a stacking woven texture, and then doing more with like connecting lines, parallel lines, and it again, it creates that sense of depth where like, you know, this section is layered, it's like stacked, it looks like it's on top of itself. But this was very clean, this was very like a simple design. My other ones where I do more, Flower Plague is a great example of like, I really like layering my stuff. Pull this back up again. I really like layering my artwork, and this was a perfect example where like it kind of spirals out. So there's different ways to do symmetry in Procreate, and one of them is like radial symmetry. So this one I like a lot because you can really see how it pulls into the center and it has this like natural growth, almost like, you know, spiraling outward, like most organic matter, most like plants and stuff follow the Fibonacci sequence, right? Like the natural the golden spiral. And then, so we're back on this guy. I'll show you with a new layer, right? So you have traditional, you know, like symmetry here, where I can do, oh yeah, I actually have to activate it though. Traditional symmetry, it has all, you know, the usual junk, and then we can do like a spiral here in the middle, and then like that's, you know, easy peasy. Oh, sorry, I gotta go back because I went to a new art piece. Has like a natural, you know, 8 points radiance. So now if I go to canvas and I go to symmetry options, I can do quadrant, which then only does 4 quadrants. So then like you only have to worry about basically 2 points of intersection, or I can do a lot of different stuff with just 4 corners essentially. And then we go to drawing guide options. You can do horizontal and vertical. Radial is super fun because this is where it gets interesting, and you can do some really funky stuff. We'll do drawing assist, and then yeah. So following this, right? You can get into. Did it change? Radial rotational symmetry. Radial rotational symmetry. This is the one. All right, so we'll erase this so I can give you a better example. Rotational symmetry actually goes around and follows the different sections. So this is like your Rasengan, your Toby Mask. Like a lot of it is more, I feel like, connecting the different pieces this way. And it just has this feeling of like, oh wow, like you're really drawing and connecting pieces. Like, I don't know, just visually I think it looks way more interesting this way. Then I can do layered, textures like this. It looks pretty cool, just like, as a simple example, right? But then, you can get crazy with it, and you can really start like, pulling shapes around, having them like bleed into other places. So then like I can erase this part here and then have it come out like boom, and then it layers, from what was behind it. And then, these guys would be more shadowed and textured. We'll do them like this, so you can see it like underneath, and then we'll have like another one popping out from right here. And then these guys go all around. Oh, shoot. These guys go all the way around from the top. So rotational symmetry is a lot of fun. I think it helps me to get more detail out like faster, or like just the way that the lines connect. Like I have ideas happen a lot faster than just doing like, regular symmetry, but I think it's also a lot easier to be structured this way, like traditional rotational symmetry, or like traditional symmetry versus rotational direction. I need to make sure I go back and put it back on radial, turn off rotational symmetry. So now we're back into, we can do like little like runes and glyphs around the side too, just for fun. Random little symbols. Excellent. I just got the news we have 3-day weekend. That's amazing. I thought I was going to have to go into work on Monday. Psych. Psych. Not for me, but not for me. It's like, what do you gain from having boys follow me? Exactly. Her Quavel team is stronger. Well, good thing I picked Quaxley then. So yeah, this is kind of like my process, for doing these. I like being able to showcase it, and then like we have tons of other, types of artwork that we can showcase and pull off. But my plan was originally to have this as a means for like charity events, or for the community, to have like different commissions. We can do just like art blasts, like you have 5-10 minutes, try and draw something from memory, or just do like some kind of like fun art challenge where gets me back into like the creative space and doing more with like, let's say at the end of the stream, like we're happy with it, we get to a place where we want to post it and share it, and then we know that like, okay, he did this live, this would go on like one of my YouTube pages, and then so you have like the VOD the process, the making of, and then do like an edited, trimmed down version to post and share and be like, this is the piece we made today on stream. You can catch these, Monday through Friday, whenever we decide to go live. That was the original idea. And then like for charity events, people can donate. And then based on like how much you donate, I'll do a custom piece and send that, on like a thank you card or something. But this is great. Like this honestly worked out way better than I thought it was going to. And now knowing that all I have to do is just switch the AirPlay on and off whenever I switch pieces, I think that's really cool. I think that's going to be a lot better for me in the long run to like switch between and do like different stuff. That way I can actually zoom in and give you guys a better look at like how I do my artwork versus just like seeing the whole piece in front, and then like I'm doing these like really tiny details and you would only be able to see like the tiniest bits up here. This is great. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. We'll keep pushing this though. We'll keep working on like building this out and punching in more details as we go. Stand by. 22nd, 25th holiday appears to be underneath and not above. I guess we'll find out Monday, but I won't be back until Tuesday afternoon. Yep, got it. Okie dokie. All right. Yeah, so I think maybe we push the scale texture out a little bit more. Yeah. And then have it be sort of like This is the true art form. This is singing little ditties to yourself as you make art. This is the true creative process right here. Just making little fucking noises. Whoa. Whoa, way too big. But yeah, we kind of want the scales to follow like a natural pattern and then kind of branch out from there. Oops. So kind of coming up and into like that. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, this is looking good now. Come up once more and have textures connect here. Okay, yeah, so that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Yeah, I like that way more. So now it kind of visually has this like bend and it flows out a little bit more. We could touch up the lines a little bit, but for the sake of time, I just want to keep pushing and rounding out more of these shapes. This guy, I think, looks good, so I'll add that in, and we'll do some visual pull in like this. That. And then I like the symbols too, just a little bit of flavor, a little bit of random random bits in there. I am getting kind of hungry too. So maybe we can go do lunch a little bit earlier. If you're down, if you're busy doing something, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. Yeah, that looks kind of interesting. Just having like a seal, kind of like that Naruto curse mark seal around it. Oops. Something like that. Something, a little visual aid there. Sounds good to me. I'm just watching art. Hell yeah, I'm just making art. That's funny how that is. Funny how that works out. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really good. I think we can do a little bit more with the centerpiece now and actually have like, I don't know. I like the geometric pieces, but I don't know about these like weird gangly little teeth all around. Let's So maybe we clean this up, do a little bit more with like, what do we want to do? Let's just erase all of it. This is what I'm talking about. It's just like, just start over. So I like the centerpiece. I like that it's this like weird, funky, bubbly, geometric shape. But I'm wondering if we did like a sort of like a radial star situation, almost like a sunflower type thing. We came around and we did like some long, stringy lines. The beauty with Procreate too is that you just have the complete freedom to just wipe your art and start over. Like, do whatever you feel. Okay, that's a little better. Sort of like branching out, poking forward, and then we could do like opposite shapes, like this. Have it pointing down and inward. Okay. So then riddle me this. If we did fill this in, right? We had a layered section underneath. Ooh, okay, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm having a brain blast here. So this works. I like this a lot. But what if we did like streaks going out from in between the points? Okay, hear me out. Okay. And then we did like this. Like almost like pulling in instead of like the teeth surrounding it, right? We just did like this. This is just a rough sketch idea. Maybe do one of these guys and clean up the edges a little bit here. Another thing that's great about symmetry is that it saves you so much time in the long term. Oh, yeah, okay. Right. So doing more with the teeth aspect instead of just having them like awkwardly jutting out, we layer them in like this. And then we have, yeah. Yeah, buddy. Watch this. Watch how this is going to pop out here. So they're almost like rooted into the darker bits. Where'd my music go? Ooh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. So now you have, again, like the line work, the center of the piece draws you in, it pops out, and then you have like the more swoopy, organic-y, like liquid textures. In the clover, in between each of the leaves, you've got like the weird, like spidery, silk, wavy curtain texture into like the Venus flytrap, like the teeth. And then the next ring comes out to be like this like draconic scale texture, branches out into like the fanning blades, the knives, and then you've got petals, like these like really cool wavy textured petals all around the outside. That's cool. I like that. That looks super good. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So now you have this like centerpiece, and then like again, like the layers, the folding, like the different stacked textures, I like a lot. Looks really cool. Nice. Oh yeah, and then we could do something with Patreon too. That's what I was thinking about, with the artwork and like having a means to um, create incentives for other people, like as we go along and we find an organization to link up with and do charity streams. I think it would also be good to put like a place for that, like a home for that in Patreon, where you get different like exclusive rewards. Like I could export all of this out as like a PSD file, so you would actually get all of the different layers and the iterative stuff that I do on stream. You also could get like a high res, exported image with this, like signed, thank you card, variations of. But I think that would be fun to do, to have sort of like another place to do incentivized pieces for people. I'm going to set this down for a second and stretch. Put this around like this, like this. Keep looking at that. It's also weird because I've got the Streamlabs view of it, the AirPlay on the other screen to make sure it's working, and then the actual iPad itself. I could probably pull this over and have a better view of like maybe my music. I just wish SoundCloud did dark mode. That's like the one thing I would really like to see is dark mode. Let's just go home. I like this playlist a lot. If you ever want to know what I am listening to, I did update the music command. And this is just like a lo-fi video game playlist that I thought worked really well for this morning. Yeah, I've got the Twitch. Okay, so that still is up, so that's good. So I could just pull up something else, visually something else to look at. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Nice. Oh! Stretch it out a little bit. Ooh! Man, I also cut my hair. Or I had her cut my hair the other day. Now that I'm actually sitting upright, I can fix my camera. My Kamura. Do it like that. Yeah. I had her cut my hair. Just the ends. I hadn't had my hairs cut in like a year plus, like a year and a half. And it's so much better. It is crazy how like just instantly like cutting off dead ends helps so much. And yeah, I've been really excited for the new year. I think 2023 was a year for sure. It got us here. It got us to this place. I'm very happy with how we've settled into it just in a few short months. There's definitely still a lot of stuff that we want to put up and hang up. Like in this room, there's a bunch of stuff I want to decorate and put stuff up. We have a dartboard, and I got some like, padded cork stuff for it. I want to put that up at some point. We've been buying, like nice, like, like throw pillows and like rugs and other like miscellaneous furniture, pieces, lights and stuff, obviously for the rooms. Definitely not big light people. We like smaller, shinier lights. What's this? Oh. And yeah, just enjoying the space now versus our last spot, which was just I was streaming in a cave essentially, which was fine, and like I feel like I had a decent setup in there with the lights and everything, but it was just not worth the strain and the stress. There's a lot of like peace of mind being on the other side here, and a lot of what comes with being able to create and do artwork is making sure you preserve your peace of mind and your energy. I feel like I work a 8-9 hour day working support. I don't really want to do my shit. I don't want to stream. I don't want to play my games or do my artwork and stuff. So now, more recently, like with the holidays, there comes with a lot more time off, and I feel like that allows room to breathe and protecting that sanity. Place we got in 2019 feels like such a cave. Yeah, and like thinking back to that time in our lives, like pre-COVID, before the fucking world stopped, fucking turned on its head, and we were just like going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like singing songs to ourselves while each other sits in the same room doing the same fucking 4 tasks over and over and over again. Freaking definition of insanity, man. No, I was talking about our last place though. Like, Arrive was just awful. Like, I just could not believe how terrible they treated their residents. And now we're here, which is great. It's like worlds apart. But yeah, I think about the time you and I lived together and just making the most of it, man. Like we definitely helped each other out a lot, and I think as a testament to our friendship now, like how well we got along together in the COVID craze, and we didn't get sick until like years later. At least I didn't. We dodged it for so long. But it's crazy to think, how we made it to that other place and the girls living with us for a little while, and then, we go our separate ways, but we ended up, obviously staying in touch, and we make time for D&D, and life goes on. But yeah, man, it's crazy how like I saw a now leasing sign outside of Arrive. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it. Go, stay away. Go to the next one. Skip this one. It's just crazy how, and playing a time wizard too, it just keeps this top of mind. But like, time escapes all of us. I think everybody in their own right has things that they're working on, jobs, family events, matters to attend to, personal struggles, love, life, pursuit of happiness, all that stuff. It's just crazy to me how like times like this at like the end of a year, we look back and we reflect on like everything that we've done, and that's sort of like our rhythm, our flow, our like this is the time for most people to celebrate. And I know it's not the case for everybody. It is traditionally a very difficult time of year due to loss and everything of that sort. But I can express gratitude to be at the end of another year and feel like I am personally closer to the man that I wanted to be, the person I wanted to be all those years ago when I first started streaming, and to now be here and making artwork and playing games and hanging out with friends. This week especially is really like brought into focus just the kind of stuff that I want to do for next year. Streaming again has been a lot more fun and exciting and enjoyable for me. I think I took a lot of the pressure out of going live and just like having to like be on and have this presence, and just like, you gotta be entertaining, you gotta do the thing, you gotta add all the extra widgets and stuff in, and like, yeah, that stuff is good, but the reality is I just love like going live and talking my shit with my friends, and doing stuff like this is way more fun to me than like trying to make it big or trying to blow up. I was talking about this yesterday, but like that's never really been a goal for me in the long term, is to be like the next big streamer. Like that doesn't matter. I very much can appreciate being small and having a closer, more connected community than just like blowing up and acting like I don't know nobody. No. Blowing up and just, like the pursuit of success. I think it's different for everybody. I think everybody has their own definition of like what success means to them. To me, this is successful. The fact that I can just go live and stream some random art off my iPad and hang out with you guys, I made it. Like, let it be known here, like, this is success to me. It means so much to be able to do this now in my life more than ever. And I'm 30, like, 30, man. I just turned 30 this year, and life has never made more sense to me than it does today. To be able to do this stuff is just a treat. It is a blessing. It is like, I have nothing but gratitude for where I'm at and what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and where we're going to go. Obviously, like, I have goals for next year, like stuff that I want to get done and stuff that I want to accomplish with this stream, and like, hit milestones and continue to grow, but like at a realistic pace. Like, we're gonna make 10,000 followers on Twitch and YouTube by 2024. Like, sure, maybe, but like, realistically, let's hit 500 first. Let's do 500 friendos on Twitch and then go from there. I want to make a better schedule. I want to find, more interesting, like-minded people on the platform. I want to continue to push myself creatively and do more stuff like this, and do like art streams and commissions and fundraisers and charity events. I want to do challenge modes. I want to do hardcore games. I want to play more of the greats, more of fun, challenging games. Like, I want to beat Kaizo. I want to beat honor mode Baldur's Gate. I want to beat hardcore Minecraft on stream and then have that be like a long running series. I want to do more Gungeon content, play Dave the Diver, more like new games. Like, I want to play Mario Golf. I want to see if we can make a challenge out of that, and just enjoying the process more and more. Like, it definitely gets easier the more that you do it, and there's definitely less pressure on me, the streamer, when I finally do go live and find, like something like, okay, I want to stream this. I've got, 2 hours. I want to, try and tackle this thing. I want to do a shiny quest for my Dream Turtle team and Violet. And we got super lucky yesterday. We got one. So now we just gotta keep going. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think this was good, like a play test. A lot of like the last couple of streams honestly have just been like testing things out in terms of like trying new things, seeing how visually it works all together. And then we'll come back probably in January with a new schedule. And I want to do a little bit more with like graphics and overlays for future streams. Because we did Fortnite the other day. That was super fun. I say the other day, that was like 2 weeks ago. But we did Fortnite. That was cool. We did some more stuff in Violet, which I'm really thoroughly enjoying this time around. We have artwork up and running, so this works great. I'll probably just clean this up a little bit and then upload it later today. Just as, like, look what we made on stream. Like, this was super fun. Obviously appreciate y'all hanging out and watching me do it. It's been a blast. Like, this has just been such a trip to now be in a place where I can go live. I have like the intent to do specific things, and it works. It works for me. Hopefully it continues to work and not like crash like it did yesterday. My whole stream crashed before I went live, like 2 minutes before. My whole system locked up and it rolled over. So I was like, oh no, please don't make me buy another computer, please. We just spent all this money on flights, on tickets. Yeah, you can show cheeks now, which is an avenue you can go down. Yeah, dude, I can show my cheeks. It'll be great. Oh no. Yeah, it was wild, but everything's working. Everything works great. Let's see if we can raid someone today. He's been live for like 5 hours, so I feel like he's probably got a few more left in him. He's doing the shiny living decks for the latest DLC. Ryan's cool. He's a cool dude. I want to see if this works. So we will raid. Ryan was taken. The raid has been created. All right, so that works. So we'll come back probably next month in January. We'll pick up where we left off. We'll do some more art streams in the future for sure, now that it's working. We still have to do our Shiny Dream team, and we could probably run it back too. We'll have some like Fortnite quests and stuff in the new year. I don't have any major plans for New Year's. Really, the only plans I have left for the rest of the year are to go have lunch with Sorrow shortly and make it to 2024. That's it. I hope for the rest of you, you enjoy these final hours of 2023. If you're like me, you're really hoping that we just wrap it up and get it over with, and that next year is going to be better for us. So I wish you all well. I wish you all a safe and happy new year. However you choose to celebrate it, take care. Again, be safe. Much love. And we'll see you in the next one. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye. See you later. We're going to go raid. Ryan. Be kind. If you are subbed, we have the Shogundi raid message. If you are not subbed, you can take the Wowie. That's a global BTTV emote. But yeah, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.